Welcome to Options Brew TV Market Shot with Mark Phillips of Harvested Financial. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Lex. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. All right, Mark, tell us what's on your mind. This is a good one again, right?
This is going to be interesting, and this is going to be a tour. There's a couple different legs. We got a basket of different spreads here. We got two types of spreads going on, so follow along closely.
All right.
Because this one's going to be interesting.
I love it.
So what I want to, before I share my screen and go through, some of the specifics here, I'll just talk generally about sort of what the goal of this type of trade is. And so what I'm going to look at is I'm going to take three of the largest components of the Qs. And so the Qs are the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100, and the top three components, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft, make up something like 30% of the weight of that index. So
Okay.
Just in those three names, we have a pretty significant concentration of that, index behavior. So what I want to do is I want to put on some credit spreads in each of the individual names. Typically we see slightly higher volatility in an individual name relative to an index. And so I want to sell the credit spreads there, income generating credit spreads, but I want to hedge a little bit of that. So I want to then go back to the index and use a butterfly spread in the Qs to hedge against some of the risk. Now, it won't be a perfect hedge, and we'll talk through some of the mechanics there, but the goal is to create a little bit more of a structure. It's a little bit more of a stable income producer, right? To the extent that like you can sell more of these credit spreads and be offset with the drawdowns with the butterfly, that provides a little bit more stability to the overall profile. So you're giving up a little bit of the edge you make in selling the credit spreads and offsetting that risk, or at least partially, with the broader index. So that's kind of the goal of what we're looking to do here.
This is the Easter basket play. I am on mute.
It is. It's a week early, but this will get you geared up. Actually, we'll do a weekly trade. So we'll do the April 1st expiry, which is next Thursday, which is the day before Easter. So
Okay, good. So all right, let's share the screen, right? That's where we're going to see this. So, and you'll explain it as we go. So it's not complex, this one, I don't think, right? It's just a lot of different little pieces. Is that safe to say?
Perfectly said. That each of the individual components is relatively similar. So let's pull up Apple first. And the strike I like to go for, we like to look at the April 1st. So 7 days away. Markets are closed on Good Friday. But I like to go with the 20 delta spread. And there's a combination of sort of gut feel, but also we run some back tests against this, trying to optimize what that spread is. And I like thinking about the delta because that's consistent across volatility environments. It's consistent across different names. But that 20 delta out of the money, delta implying the probability of that being in the money, gives you about a 20% chance of that landing in the money for a short strike. But it's that right combination of income versus risk. If you go too far out, you're not really going to collect all that many dollars. You come too close, and you're going to have a much more sort of choppy experience. So that's sort of the reasoning behind picking that 20 delta.
Okay.
So in Apple, I'm going to go with the 115 is that 20 delta put. And you can see what I'm looking at right here. It's actually the 21 delta. It's as close as we can do in these dollar strikes. And so I'm just going to do a tight credit spread here and buy the 114 against that. So now,
a dollar put credit spread is what we're doing.
Correct. We are the max value of that would be $1. And you collected about 15 cents mid-market. Put that on. So your max risk on this is 85 cents, $85 a contract.
Got it. Okay.
So that's leg numero uno.
Okay.
And then let's pull up Amazon. So Amazon's going to be a little different, a little wider strikes here. You can't get that $1 strike, of course, in a $3,000 name. But so ultimately, with the whole basket, you're going to want to adjust your ratios here so that relatively you have similar risks.
Let me interrupt real quick. Sorry, I just thought of something. So just a point of clarity for the folks. We are doing Apple put credit spread. We're going to do an Amazon put credit spread. So I want to make sure people know you can't do this as a basket of one trade. You can't do Apple, Amazon spread, and whatever else you're going to add on there as one big package. So Mark's just going through and showing you each setup for the group of stocks he's using. That's right, correct, Mark?
Correct. Yeah. No, I don't know anywhere that orders across symbols necessarily. Like this is,
Yep.
you have to construct each of these components. Now you
Got
can do the spread themselves. You definitely want to send this down as a paired order when
Yep.
you're doing that Amazon spread.
Right. And that's what this is on the screen right here. What Mark's showing is that's a paired, called a complex order, I guess, 2 or more legs up to 4. So that's what he's constructing now.
And within symbols, you definitely want to do that. That's a great execution kind of technique.
Sure.
Legging into it, buying one and then selling the other exposes you to some risk. But you're also probably going to get better price improvement when you send it down as a package, because someone, the liquidity provider can see that this is, a package. They know what their risk is. It's going to be lower delta, offsetting kind of buy and sell options. So definitely a great point. You definitely want to be routing using the spread.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's that one. We got about 70 cents there for
and actually, I'm on the wrong expiration. Sorry.
Sorry.
I want to be looking at the April 1st expiration here. And this one will sell the 29.40 by the 29.30. We're gonna oops.
Yeah, get those out. There you go.
So
Okay.
yeah, there we go. So this one's about $1.40.
Yep, $10 spread, $1.40 credit. Okay.
And if you note, that's a relatively similar price to risk ratio as we're seeing in the Apple. Remember, that was about 15 cents on the dollar. This is about $1.40 on $10.
Right. Good. Okay. What's our next stock? Are we going through the alphabet? Oh no, we're going to M now.
We're jumping all the way down to Microsoft. So pulling out the April 1st expiration, 7 days away, going again for that 20 delta.
Mm-hmm.
Here, not perfect, but we'll sell the 17 delta 222.50 to buy the 220.
Okay.
So the 250 widespread, and we're going to collect 26 cents, call it 25 cents.
All right.
So
number 3. So we're just a reminder, we're our sell strike is around the 20 delta put. That's what Mark's been constructing in each of the names. So that's our zone in the you're going 7 days out in that next week's expiration, I believe, right? April 1st expiration.
Exactly. We're looking 7 days out to next Thursday, and going for the 20 delta as the short strike in each of these games. And as far as percent out of the money in sort of percentage terms, these are all ending up about 4%, 3.8 to 4% out of the money.
Okay, good.
A little bit of choppiness in the market, definitely some sells. So, vol has been a little bit more bid. Depending on the overall vol environment, you still go for that 20 delta, but that'll be different percentages out of the money. Lower volatility, that 20 delta is going to be closer to the money. Higher volatility, that 20 delta is going to be nominally farther percentages away.
Good. Okay.
So those are the 3 names. So those are the 3 that we have our credit put spreads on.
Okay.
We've collected, 15 cents, $1.45, and 25 cents on those. We want to do those all in, about equal ratios. They're all somewhere between 9 and 11% of the Qs. So we probably want to put about the same amount of capital at risk. 1 lot of Amazon, probably a 10 lot of Apple, and then a 4 lot of the Microsoft. All gives us about $1,000 per name for $3,000 of total risk.
Okay. Perfect.
Right. And so we're going to max value on those spreads, I should say, not risk. And we're going to collect about $3.95 to do all that with those prices.
Okay, sounds good.
10 at the 150 or 10 at 15 cents, 1 at 145, and 4 at 25 cents to make $100. $3.95 collected.
Got it.
So if you're still with me, we're now going to head over to the Qs.
Okay, so now just go. You go to the Qs. Let me explain. So we've done 3 of these spreads in components, I'm guessing, of the Qs. The Qs is a power shares trust. So it's sort of like an index. This is an ETF, right?
This is an ETF. Yep.
Yeah. So it's an ETF, and it comprises stocks like Microsoft and Amazon and Apple, right? They're all part of the computation to make the QQQ price. That's right?
Correct. And there's something like 30% of the QQQ goes to those top 3 names.
All right. So here comes our hedge, I'm thinking, right?
Here comes our hedge. So, each of those put credit spreads are going to see sort of their max pain when we go down more than 4.5%. That's when you start losing money on those.
Got it.
So we want to look to center our butterfly in the Qs down around there. And so this is a hedge. No hedge is going to be perfect, but as we walk through some of these, it'll be important to see sort of what where your pain points and what risk this really offsets. So 4% down here, I'm going to center around 296.
Okay.
Sell 2 of those, and I'm going to go $4 wide.
Any magic to the width of this butterfly, or is it just?
Sorry, not $4 wide. I want to go $5 wide because there is some magic to it.
Okay.
And if I go $5 wide, that butterfly will have a max value down 4 and change percent at 296 of $5.
Right.
$500 per contract. If I do 6 of those, that offsets my risk that I have on in the credit spreads. Got
it. Okay, makes sense. So you said $500 times 6 is 3,000. You mentioned your risk on the credit spreads as being that same roughish number, 3,000, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So they offset each other. That's awesome. Okay, go ahead.
And so it won't be perfect. That would be if that butterfly is at its max value. We're going to see increasing efficacy of the butterfly. Well, let me pull up a what if. So we're going to see increasing, go below that long strike of 201 towards the 296. So we're going to start seeing that butterfly becoming increasingly valuable, seeing that max value at the pure offset down the 4%, and then that'll wane, should we go down even more than that. So it's an offset, but it's not going to perfectly offset it. We do see a big drop. We are still seeing our sort of max loss in the credit spread realm.
Right. But there's technically there's a possibility to win on everything. Now it's tough to do, right? We could have a drift down to the, in the market, and the butterfly becomes more expensive, which is good for us, right? We can get out of that. And then the put spreads kind of decay their way out and they don't get to their strikes. And there's a possibility of that as well, right?
Certainly, the way these are going to decay, I think it's a great point, and how that's going to evolve over time, because like you said, the put spreads are going to lose some of their value, and the butterfly, you're getting it for so cheap. It's a nice little debit. So these are the midpoints around 30 cents here. So you're not paying all that much for this butterfly here. So decay is definitely your friend with this strategy across both legs.
Right. Good. Okay. And that's you don't have a name for this. I'm calling it the Easter basket.
I love the Easter basket. I did not. I knew I wanted to do this basket, but I didn't know it was so perfectly timed to expire the day before Good Friday.
Perfect. All right. Good. Well, let's put this one in the notebook and we'll check it out next time.
Absolutely.
Good. That looks good. I love it. Okay. Well, awesome, Mark. We'll keep an eye on that. And you're right. The market's been a little choppy. It seems like every time I look, there's red ink on the screen on CNBC. So I think a little bit of a downtrend, right?
Yeah, we definitely have seen some chop, a little bit of risk off. I think whether it's the inflation concern out there or what people are risking off from, it definitely feels like that across assets. So
okay.
Yeah, I hear you on the red.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, great. Well, great Epi. We'll get this posted on the YouTube channel. It's Options Brew TV. It'll be out there shortly. So great show, Mark. Thanks.